tried White Rock Brewing before, so I'm kind of excited to get into it. So this is White Rock Brewing Brown Ale. You guys know that I love my dark beers, especially the ones that are brown and nutty and flavorful. Anyways, this is really good. The darker the better. Welcome to the February edition of Drinks with Darren. It is a beautiful sunny day here in White Rock, British Columbia, and how lucky am I that I am able to sit on the beach, have a drink, and talk with you guys. Fortunately, I have a home inspection going on just down the road, about a block up off the beach, where a great client of mine is looking at buying her dream beach house. And anyways, we're here today because there's lots going on that you guys need to know, so let's get into it. Now, you may be wondering why I'm wearing a jacket today, and that's because we're sitting at the beach. Now, we're also at White Rock Beach, but the restaurant we're at is the beach. Just a follow-up, I'm just told it's been called Local. The place has been rebranded from the beach to Locals. We actually came here for the grand opening, my wife and I, a few months back, and now they're full steam ahead. We're a selection of tapas, appetizers, and awesome cocktails and drinks. Now, being towards the end of February, we need to talk about the recent BC budget and what was just announced and how it's going to affect your real estate investment. There has been a lot that has been announced by the NDP minority government this week, so I want to make sure you get the highlights of what's very important and relevant to you. Firstly, foreign buyers tax for foreign buyers or foreign entities has now been raised from 15% all the way up to 20%, but not only that, it's also been extended into new areas. Those areas include the Capital District, like in and around Victoria. They include Nanaimo, they include parts of the Okanagan, and they also include the Fraser Valley and Greater Vancouver, of course. Now, what I'm going to tell you that I think is great about that is because we want to make sure that all of our families, all of our friends, and all of our kids are able to buy homes in British Columbia. And I'm going to steal a line from the Finance Minister, Carol James, where she mentioned that rather than just have that tax in Metro Vancouver and push it out, the speculation and ownership into other areas of British Columbia, now we know that our major hubs and our very popular areas are covered by this tax. We saw a growth in values in Victoria. We saw a growth in values in Nanaimo. We saw a growth in values in Kelowna and the Okanagan. And this is going to really help slow that demand from foreign ownership and really give opportunity to those people who live, work, and play in the area a chance to be a homeowner. There's also a speculation tax that the government has announced. Now, we don't have a ton of details on that, but here's what we do know. This tax is specifically targeted towards both foreign and domestic owners of real estate in British Columbia who are not paying income tax. Here's something that's not going to affect a lot of people, but for homes over the $3 million mark, another change that's been made is increasing the property transfer tax from 3% to 5% on any value greater than $3 million. For pre-sale condo developments, developers will now have to collect and report any information about their purchases. There was nothing specific in the budget regarding what was going to be done with that information, but it's very interesting and I think very good that our government is now collecting information about people buying pre-sale condominiums. For any of those that you were making use of the BC Home Buyers Program that was introduced by the Liberal government about a year ago, well, that program has now been canceled, and I'm not really surprised by that, truthfully, because it was very poorly taken up on by many people. The values were quite low, so it didn't help a lot of people, and it was incredibly hard to qualify for. So no surprise there seeing that in the BC budget. So one thing I am thrilled to let everybody know about is in 2017, I personally came in number 44 spot out of 3,500 realtors in the Fraser Valley Real Estate Board. The Fraser Valley Real Estate Board goes from Mission all the way to North Delta because of all the support from my great clients like you, who when their friends need help buying or selling a place, or they need help buying or selling a place, you guys choose to call me and trust me with them. And I really appreciate that. So number 44, I'm hungry to get to number 1, but I just wanted to say thank you and that I sincerely appreciate from the bottom of my heart all the support that I get from you guys. Let's talk some numbers now. What is happening with apartments in the Fraser Valley? I'm sure everyone knows that and expects that they're still relatively busy. And not necessarily just relatively busy, but very busy. In the last month, the average price of a residential apartment or condominium unit in the Fraser Valley went up 3.97%. That is incredible. Who knows how much this longer is going to last with all these changes coming to the mortgage market that were introduced at the start of this year, and with some of the new things that I just mentioned regarding the BC budget. Will that continue? It's hard to say. In the last 3 months, the market has gone up over 9% at an astounding 9.38%. Anybody that's in a condo right now is smiling ear to ear, and anybody that's looking to buy a condo is obviously having a very difficult time. However, there is strategies to help be successful without paying over the top values. So if you do know anybody looking for a condominium, keep us in mind, because I've got some really good strategies that we've helped a lot of people with this year. Next, townhomes. Townhomes in the Fraser Valley last month went up 1.22%. That's a healthy growth that's happening in townhomes right now. In the last 3 months, you're at about 3.3%. So that's a pretty good investment, guys. 3 months, 3.3%. I definitely know my stocks didn't do that in the last 4 weeks. Lastly, for those of you in detached homes, it's been a while since we've seen any significant growth in the detached home market. Last month, the detached homes in the Fraser Valley went up just under 1% by about 0.65. In the last 3 months, though, detached homes have gone up 1.11%. Now, isn't it interesting to think of how quickly apartment units are moving up, and then townhomes a little bit slower and detached homes quite a bit slower? The gap is closing between all properties, especially between apartment condominium units and townhomes. What do you think is going to happen? A few quick things to mention before I let you guys go. Micro markets are always such an important thing to consider. That means an apartment in South Surrey might be doing very different things than an apartment in North Surrey. And obviously affordability is starting to play a major factor in our market. That's number one. Point number two is I need to know what you guys like about these videos, what you don't like, what you would like to see me do differently. I want to make sure I give you so much value in these that you tune in every month, because I love doing them. I get to sit in beautiful places like this and have a lovely pint of beer and talk to you, my favorite people. So please don't hesitate to send me information about what you'd like to see, any questions, anything to be included, whatever you like. Thirdly, the statistics for everything I've mentioned are always attached below this video, so make sure you check them out. If you're a visual person, you like to see what they're doing, and keep a very close eye on what I was saying between the condominiums and the townhomes starting to close the gap from January of last year all the way to now. And lastly, where should I go next? Thank you for watching Drinks with Darren, and I hope to see you next month.